It has been 1.5 years, stepping out of clueless parameters being an anomaly. I vividly remember when I started making videos, crafting emails, changing my life trajectory nudge by nudge. But it has not always been a walk in the park. Sometimes it's confusing, mysterious, and at times thinking to put it all to a dead bolt shut. See, I believe we all undergo different versions of the same things, mountains to overcome. Each and every person has different types of mountains, but it is how we deal with our mountains that craft the person we become. Oftentimes, we have to take the bold decision to get out of our knowns and embrace the unknowns. Yes, that means that there will be more work and there will be more stress, more sacrifices, but the fulfillment is always worth it. Always. I saw myself from a different perspective. I knew that I wanted to be a bit different, and I saw the vision of the type of person that I could be, and I worked towards that. But I never knew the full details of everything. Basically, I was getting to know the journey by starting the process. I started then, and I declared that I'll never stop. But these are some of the few things that I was able to learn from starting and never stopping. The first thing is always going to be sacrifice. The reason of sacrifice is because you're living off your edge. It means that this is not like the person who you are. It means that you're evolving and you're becoming a different type of person. And what does that also mean? It means that you're going to take up more lessons. It means that you're going to be sacrificing 3 things: your time, your energy, and your attention, in order for you to become that type of person. This is a path from the known to the unknown. So you'll have to put more sacrifices, and most times not everybody is going to believe, but you know the sacrifices that you have to put. Sometimes you don't have to go with all the people, to go with the crowd, because you're working on something that you truly want, something that you want out of life, and what type of person that you want to be. So you're chasing your dreams. And this also comes from the other perspective of sometimes you're going to be confused. I can totally agree with this. Sometimes I lay in the grass and just look at the skies and wonder, what am I even doing this for? Sometimes you're going to be confused when you walk in this off your edge. When you live off your edge, sometimes you're going to be confused. But it is from the confusion that you get the answers. Somebody said that the best way out is through. I believe that each and every person has their own mountains, and if you're going to be brave enough and overcome those mountains, you're going to master them. See, a lot of people don't overcome their mountains. We have all the same one thing, but there are different versions of it. There are different versions of the mountains. But if you're going to be brave enough to overcome your mountains, since everybody has them, you're going to master them, and it is by overcoming the mountains you get fulfillment. But I don't want to go ahead of myself. First, I'm talking about what comes with living off your edge. That was confusion. Another thing is shutting down the world. No, this doesn't mean that you become obscure of nature. It's totally the opposite. Sometimes that not everybody is going to believe in whatever you're doing. Maybe your dreams are big, maybe your passion is an anomaly. Not everybody thinks like you. And most times, since they don't believe that, you'll have to shut down the negativity for a moment. Sometimes you just have to walk the long path in order to find the answers. So sometimes you'll have to shut down the world in order for you to find the answers. And it is by that you go within. In order to find the answers without, you go within. And from within, you get the answers. You get to practice what you're doing each and every single time. And that has been so important in shutting down the negativity, shutting down the world in general. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you get some people who believe in the mission, some people who are positive and they encourage you. But just like I said, you have to find the answers without, you have to go within. So it means all in all, you have to go within. Now, it comes the other side of it. Why am I doing this? Why is every single time I'm persuaded to become better each and every single time, it means that there's some upside. And this upside, one of the most, I'll say the best thing about this is fulfillment. See, fulfillment is a result of satisfying the within. The within seeks to explore something new outside of the norms, and by doing that you get most fulfillment. An average person only get fulfillment, just like I've said again, that every single person has mountains. Each and every single person has mountains. We just have different versions of the mountains. You have a different version, your neighbor has a different version, your friend has a different version of the mountain, but it's all one mountain, and that is all about becoming brave. And once you become brave and escape those mountains and you go through them, the best way out is through. And once you have the bravery, that's where you get fulfillment. Because if you decided to just lay off and never do anything, you're never going to be fulfilled. And that is what I truly get mostly from what I do, is that I find the fulfillment of, maybe not yet, I haven't seen results yet, but I know it's just a matter of time because I'm getting fulfilled from the inside. I found the answers within and I'm expressing them without. Very interesting, super interesting about fulfillment. Fulfillment is what drives the mountains to become so obscure. Yes, people wonder, how do you do it? Fulfillment, you love what you're doing. Very interesting, man. Another thing is escaping the average. So I don't mean in terms of an average existence. I mean from what is happening inside yourself. Two different things. What happens inside is what I'm talking about. You escape the mundane life. See, in your inside, you know that you're being the truest version of yourself in pursuing that passion that you'll want. You know that you're not slacking it off. You're becoming that type of person that you'll want to be, and by that you're living your truest, most best version of yourself. You are true to yourself, and by doing that you escape the average life. Can you imagine doing 98% of your passions? You're not going to be average because each and every fiber of your body is working to that passion. You're not average, right? And that is the part that I've always seen myself to be, escaping the norms. And from working outside the norms of self, you get outside the norms of the world, because it is from within you get without. Very interesting. I discovered this principle and totally changed my entire life. Escaping the norms from the inside. What will you want to achieve? What are your passions? Do you put your passions aside so that you could do your job, so that somebody else could tell you what to do, whereas you're not following up in whatever you want to truly do? It means that you're keeping yourself down, and by that you're still in the slave mind. But by confronting within and discovering the type of person that you are, you're going to live from the norms. Another important thing is learning the most. See, in this journey, there are things that I never knew. I totally never knew. But until I started, that's where I realized, well, there are many things that I don't know yet. And from that, I became a learning machine each and every single time. The other time I decided to start up filming, I never knew anything about it, but I never had the best appliances. I use the resources that I have, and from that, each and every single day, I'm learning something. But a couple years ago, 2 years ago, I wasn't on this path, so I was maybe comfortable with what I knew. I was comfortable in my ideas, I was comfortable in my worldview. But once I escaped, once I realized that I could live for every fiber of my body to become passionate in whatever I do, that's when I discovered that there was a lot of metamorphosis. There's a lot of change in my perception, my mindset. You know, the things that I know. I also have a mindset to learn from each and everybody. See, a lot of people, when people talk, they listen to, oh, what is he saying? But also listen to the things which are not said as well, the skills, the experience, like all these things that you can learn. So it has given me that mindset, and this comes from learning from anything, learning from everyone. And this is a mindset that I got from when I started this path, where the starting now and never stop. See, in this journey you're going to learn a lot of things. Most things are going to be helpful in your journey. Just like I said, we have different mountains, but we have different versions of the mountains. So your thing could be about science, could be about your passion, could be about anything like astrology, right? But you find that you're learning new things each and every single time when about that subject somebody else is learning new things about something different about nature. And this is the same thing, just one mountain but different versions of it. So if you could be courageous enough to step out of the norms and embrace the life that you ever wanted,